Are property prices set to crash? And when are they going to crash? Well, this is Dean Odell with Seven Gables Real Estate and the Odell Group. Today is August 7th. We're going to answer some of those questions and we're going to take a look at the most recent data here in Orange County. Let's get started and go to the charts right now. Okay, so these are the 6 charts we're going to be looking at today. Let's start with the first one. And this is the Orange County listing inventory chart. We are on that red line. You can see it's holding fairly steady. We had just a little bit more homes, 21 more homes over the last 2 weeks. This is about the time of year where listing inventory starts to cap. You can see that in a lot of the data of the previous years that's in this graph. You can see where we were last year, 3,426. So we're almost 50% higher in inventory. And you can see where our 3-year average was prior to COVID at 6,753. So we always ask ourselves, how does that match up with demand? So looking at the prior pendings, meaning homes that are in escrow, today we are at 1,584. 2 weeks ago, we were just a little bit less at 1,565. And you can see where we were last year. We were actually about 53 homes less. So again, looking at that red line, you can see there's been a little bit of a bump, but look at the previous years and you can see how tight our demand has been in Orange County now. From 2022 all the way through 2025, it's been fairly consistent, and that is against all kinds of different levels of inventory. So looking at this expected marketing time, you can see we're at 95 days. Now 95 days, that's the whole market, and that is getting into a balanced market. If we look at where we were 2 weeks ago, it was about the same thing, but you could see we're a lot slower than last year. Last year was at 67 days. Again, we are on this red line, and you can see how the expected marketing time, despite the demand staying the same, has changed greatly. And why is that? Well, it's because expected marketing time has to be measured also against the inventory, right? It's like a supply and demand thing, and we know our inventory has been going up. So if you look at the 3-year average, it was 78 days. We are now at 95 days. So yes, we are definitely in a slower moving market, and the slowest moving market since 2016. So now we're looking at the market breakdown by price point, and you'll notice there is no longer a hot seller's market in any price range. And if you look back on some of the older shows here, you will see that hot seller's market, it went all the way up to about 2.5 million. Okay, so that has gone away. We only have a slight seller's market now up to 1.5 million. We have a balanced market between 1.5 and 2 million, and we have a slight buyer's market between 2 million to 2.5. So after that, we start getting into this deep buyer's market. So if you're a buyer over $2.5 million, you definitely have some choices out there. There's probably a couple of houses at least for every buyer that's out there. So there is a lot more supply in that price range. And because of this, it is taking a lot longer for houses to sell in this price range. You can see what the marketing time is if you freeze this slide in all the price ranges and compare that with last year, and you'll see that it is slower in every single price range. So now I have 2 special charts for you, which is going to help answer this question as, are prices going to fall, and when are they going to fall? Are we going to see prices crash? Okay, so the first chart I want you to look at is this house price index, because I want you to see historically what prices have done year over year. The month over month thing, that's kind of a little too detailed. Let's just look at the year over year, okay? And if you look at that from June 06, you could see that prices were accelerating and going up like they had been for a long time through, 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006. And then what happened in 07? All of a sudden prices plunged 22%. Then June 08, they went down another 12%, okay? Then they finally kind of went back and forth along the bottom until 2012 when they started going back up again, right? And we've had a steady climb since then. And it's been a combination of the reduction of interest rates and the increase in prices due to the fact that we had lock up inventory. People were not selling their houses because they had these great interest rates. So all of a sudden our supply went way, way down, right? So what does it take to make prices crash? Well, there's 3 elements, okay? So now that you've seen this chart, keep this in mind because it's all going to go into when I explain to you guys the 3 elements that it actually takes for prices to go down and when they go down. So let's move to the next slide, which is a special slide as well, and that's Orange County distress sales. Here's one thing I need you guys to understand. Look at this chart. Look at 2008, 2009, and look at where we are in January 2025. Do you know that in the entire county of Orange last month, there was one foreclosure and one short sale, meaning they owed more money than the house was worth, so he had to get the bank to take less. That's 2 sales that were distressed in all of Orange County. Compare that with January 08 when we were having 1,300 or so distressed sales. I mean, we're not even close, right? So now let's talk about the 3 elements it will take for prices to go down and my advice to buyers and sellers. So what are the 3 things that it takes to make housing prices go down, and where are we now in comparison to that? Okay, well, we have to have a lot of inventory. We still don't have a lot of inventory, guys. We have 5,000 homes. We had 17,500 homes in Orange County for sale back at the top of the Great Recession. I mean, we're not even a third of the way there, okay? That's 3.5 times more inventory than we have right now. What was the second element? There was a lot of distressed sales, okay? I just showed you there was about 1,400 sales that were distressed, okay? Right now, we're only having 1,500 sales a month, okay? We had 1,400 of them that were distressed in a month back then. So we're not even close to that, okay? When you have distressed sales, that means people's backs are either really up against the wall, they got to get rid of the house, or the bank's already taken it over, and the bank is like, hey, let's get rid of this and get the money loan back out, right? We don't have any of that going on right now, you guys. We don't have any of it. Distressed sales, we had 2 in Orange County. Okay, now the third element, what is that third element? Wait a minute, let me think about that. What's the third element, producer? Oh, yes, buyer demand. You have to have muted buyer demand. And guess what? We have that. So we have one of the 3 elements. So are we ready for prices to crash yet? Absolutely not. It's not going to happen. The only way that's going to happen is if we have a lot more supply and less demand, okay? Or same demand and a lot more supply. So we're just not there yet, guys. I don't know if we're really going to get there or not. We're just going to have to see how this works out. Anyway, I'm just reporting on what the data's showing, not what all these crystal ball gazers are telling you on the internet, okay? What's going on in Orange County right now is we have a pretty balanced market overall. The buyer or the seller really don't have an advantage too much over each other. It's actually a very fair, good market. It's just very quiet demand, right? So the best advice I can give you, again, buyers, if you find a house, you like it, it makes sense, I would go ahead and buy it. Chances are that we're going to get a rate drop in the 4th quarter. I mean, I don't like to try to predict rates, but it's all looking that way if you really, do your homework on rates. And normally they do kind of go down in the 4th quarter. And it looks like we probably will get a 4th quarter rate lowering. We've already seen rates start to go down. So that means if you can get in, hopefully you can get to refi too, if they go down enough, right? So that's my best advice for you buyers. Don't pass up on a house you'd like thinking that the market's going to crash, because we just don't see anything in the data that shows that. Sellers, if you saw our last show, I was pretty hard on you guys. I said, hey, look, don't even waste your time going on the market if you're not going to be realistic, because about 20% of the homes are expiring because they're not being, properly priced. They're not being presented properly. And you got, quite honestly, still a lot of amateurs out in the marketplace who have not seen any kind of market other than an up market. So now we have a balanced market. It's a whole different ballgame. If you want good advice, call someone who's been around for a while, call the Odell Group. We would love to help you out. We're actually having a record year, believe it or not. And so we know what we're doing. We don't have any expired listings. We're selling all our listings. So let us help you with that. And buyers, if you want really good advice and you don't want to just make an emotional buy and you want to make a buy that makes sense, we're going to make sure that we help you make the logical choice, okay? We're not the type of people that push our buyers into things that they don't want or shouldn't buy. Anyway, give us a call. You can reach us at the number on the screen, and we will see you in 2 weeks, and we'll be able to tell you if there's any change in this market. See you then. Bye-bye.